Fever, no. But also, let's take a moment for KK, okay? She's that moment today. She's that girl always. Thank you. Don't cheat. Let the light get the nice little dog.
Picture this nightmare scenario. The Chicago sky throws their biggest Barbie night celebration yet, complete with pink decorations covering the United Center and the entire event built around Angel Reese's iconic persona. There's just one massive problem. Angel Reese isn't even playing due to injury. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever walk into this pink paradise without Caitlin Clark and proceed to absolutely demolish the sky 93-78, turning Chicago's dream night into a complete disaster. Fans watching this beatdown unfold literally started renaming it Fever Night on social media, while the Sky's promotional team watched their themed party get hijacked by the visiting team. What happened next would expose the truth about basketball's most overrated rivalry.
The Indiana Fever walk into Chicago, the United Center, no Caitlin Clark, and they walk out with a W 93-78.
The media has been pushing this narrative all season long. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, the next Magic versus Bird, two generational talents destined to battle for supremacy. ESPN builds massive hype around every matchup. Social media explodes with debates and hot takes. Everyone acts like we're witnessing the greatest rivalry in women's basketball history. But here's what nobody wants to admit when the cameras stop rolling. The actual head-to-head record between these teams tells a completely different story. The Indiana Fever have absolutely demolished the Chicago Sky 6 times in their last 7 meetings. That's not a rivalry. That's systematic target practice happening over and over again. This season alone, the Fever have beaten Chicago 3 straight times while outscoring them by a ridiculous 77 points across those 3 games. The first meeting was a 35-point blowout. The second was a 27-point destruction. And now this Barbie night disaster, another 15-point beatdown. When one team consistently dominates another this badly, calling it a rivalry becomes a joke.
It's the Kelsey Mitchell Show here in Chicago. Mitchell into the paint, able to lay it in. To Mitchell, she'll fire. You bet. Deflected, gets it back, and hits from 3. See Mitchell, her 7th 3 of the day.
But the most shocking part wasn't Chicago getting destroyed again. It was watching Kelsey Mitchell make franchise history on enemy territory while their main attraction sat on the bench in street clothes. Mitchell walked into the United Center knowing she had to carry the scoring load without Caitlin Clark, and what happened next put her name in the Fever record books forever. She absolutely exploded for a season-high 35 points, shooting an incredible 12 of 19 from the field, while nailing 7 3-pointers on 10 attempts. That's 70% from beyond the arc when your team needs you most. Mitchell didn't just score, though. She joined Caitlin Clark as the only players in Indiana Fever history to record 35 or more points, 5 or more assists, and 5 or more made 3-pointers in a single game. Think about that exclusive club. Only 2 players ever, and Mitchell just earned her spot on Barbie night while Chicago watched helplessly. Her preparation paid off in a massive way too. She spent the entire offseason working with a trainer who's also a football coach, focusing on defensive back drills to improve her footwork and lateral movement. Every shot looked smooth, every movement looked natural, and Chicago's defense had absolutely no answers.
Indiana run after Chicago had cut it to 2. Poked away by Timpson, there's the deflection. Off to the races, Timpson finishes strong, forcing a timeout from Chicago. A 9-0 Indiana run, and the lead is back to 11.
Michaela Timpson, the rookie, all season long, when she's gotten minutes here and there, has made the most of them. We've seen it on the offensive end. Then here, just getting her arms in the passing lane, the deflection, finishing a tough look.
The supporting cast stepped up huge when the lights were brightest. Rookie Michaela Timpson delivered the performance of her young career, dropping 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting from the field. That's 75% efficiency while the pressure was at its peak. New signing Chloe Bibby made an immediate impact too, scoring 8 points in just 10 minutes after signing her 7-day contract just days earlier. Aaliyah Boston grabbed her 3rd straight double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds, but her impact went way beyond the box score, with 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks affecting every possession. Lexi Hull came through with clutch shots every time the Sky tried to make runs, keeping Chicago from building any momentum with perfect timing and shot selection. Coach Stephanie White has been talking all season about having real depth, and this game proved exactly why that matters so much. The Fever rotation stayed strong for 40 minutes without their best player, showing they're not just Caitlin Clark and 4 other players. They're a complete team that can beat anyone on any given night.
Let's check this out right here. Of course, this is supposed to be the arena that Angel Reese built, right? Question mark? Caitlin Clark right here signing autographs. Look at these fans. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously. This person over here, show us Barbie. Yeah, not lined up for Barbie. In Barbie's own arena. Glad to see Chicago giving Barbie a welcome to Sophie Cunningham.
Chicago's Barbie night turned into an absolute disaster that nobody saw coming. The Sky marketing team went all out, planning their biggest theme celebration of the season. Pink decorations covered every corner of the United Center. Special merchandise filled the gift shop. The whole event was built around Angel Reese's Barbie persona, and they scheduled this game specifically at their premium venue, hoping to create magical memories for their fans. But here's where everything went completely wrong. Their main attraction wasn't even playing due to injury, leaving the Sky without their star on their own themed night. Social media exploded during the game as fans watched the Sky get demolished on their biggest promotional night. Twitter users started calling it Fever Night instead of Barbie Night. Memes flooded Instagram showing empty pink seats while Fever fans celebrated. The ultimate embarrassment came when Fever fans outnumbered Sky supporters in several sections of Chicago's own building, making the atmosphere feel more like an Indiana home game than a Sky celebration. Coach Tyler Marsh sounded completely defeated in his post-game comments, admitting that teams have figured out how to exploit Chicago's weaknesses, while his frustration became obvious talking about players not executing and making the same mistakes repeatedly.
I'm beginning to suspect the Indiana Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky. Don't ask me why I believe that or think that. It's just a sneaking suspicion that I have. I mean, it could be the fact that the Fever spank them every time they play. Could be that. Maybe it's that. I mean, you can date back to last year, but this year, the Fever spanked the Sky in the season opener.
But the most telling moment of the entire night had nothing to do with what happened on the court. Caitlin Clark spent the entire game signing over 200 autographs for Sky fans who came specifically to see her play. She made her way around 2/3 of the United Center, even as security tried to move her along, remaining the center of attention while sitting on the bench in street clothes. Sky fans literally lined up for Clark's autograph instead of support
here for Indiana. Now, one thing that we talked about the other day in New York, but you just have to appreciate about Caitlin Clark in these games, she knows a huge portion of these fans were hoping to see her play, and obviously they're not getting to, but she goes out of her way to make sure pregame she's signing autograph after autograph.
This beatdown revealed the harsh truth about where both franchises are actually headed. The Fever now sit third in the Eastern Conference, just 2 games behind Atlanta, building real playoff momentum without their best player on the court. They've proven they can beat Chicago with Clark, without Clark, at home, on the road, in regular games, and on special themed nights. When Clark returns healthy for the stretch run, this confident Fever team becomes absolutely dangerous heading into the playoffs. Compare that to Chicago's continued struggles. They dropped to 7 wins and 18 losses with this defeat, marking their 5th straight loss while their playoff hopes basically disappeared. The Sky keeps scheduling more games against Indiana at premium venues, keep throwing themed nights and special promotions, but the Fever keep proving why that's a huge mistake. Every time these teams meet, Indiana walks away with another victory, while Chicago gets reminded of the massive gap between them.
I mean, good for her. She simply understands kind of the responsibility she has and loves helping grow the game in that way.
Yeah, and the emotion, of the fans when she does interact with them and sign with them, it really is amazing to see. Once again, Fisher Plummer are outstanding.
The so-called rivalry everyone talks about doesn't actually exist when you look at the results. Real rivalries require competitive balance, back-and-forth battles, and mutual respect earned through close games. This is just one franchise repeatedly schooling another while everyone pretends it's competitive. The media keeps pushing this narrative because it sells. But when your own themed night gets completely hijacked by the visiting team, that tells you everything about which organization has a real future in this league. The Fever aren't just building something special. They're proving that sustainable success comes from developing complete rosters, not just hoping individual talent can carry you. Chicago can keep scheduling more premium games and hoping for different results. But until they figure out how to actually compete with Indiana's depth and chemistry, this one-sided beatdown will continue happening over and over again.